Some nice ones, thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but
how do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny. And I'm glad Manny going in too. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in his tour.
Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not.
Boxing veterans are sharing their thoughts on the Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios showdown. Oscar de la Hoya voiced his support, saying he wishes Pacquiao the very best. He believes Pacquiao absolutely has what it takes, calling him a true legend. De la Hoya says Manny's experience and fighting spirit still give him a real shot.
I wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him.
Can he do it?
Quadra?
Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's
Oscar needs.
He's a legend. You know,
some nice ones, thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it. Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. speaks with genuine admiration, calling Manny Pacquiao one of boxing's all-time greats. His respect comes not just from Manny's achievements, but also his fearless attitude in facing top-tier opponents. For Jones, Pacquiao's return is thrilling. It's a rare chance for fans to witness flashes of his former greatness. He sees this as an opportunity for Manny to revive his legacy, proving that true greatness doesn't vanish with age. His words strike an emotional chord with fans who still believe in their hero.
How do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny, and I'm glad Manny going in too. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in two of his first three fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did. That story is also just as awesome as Manny Pacquiao's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
Let's just.
Eddie Hearn approaches Pacquiao's comeback with equal parts respect and realism. As someone who's seen countless careers unfold, he knows how risky nostalgia-fueled returns can be. While he acknowledges Pacquiao's incredible resume, Hearn warns that time away from the ring can dull instincts and weaken conditioning, especially against a young, active fighter like Barrios. He believes Manny could still outbox many, but expecting a return to peak form could lead to heartbreak. His tone urges fans to honor Manny's legacy, without unrealistic hopes.
It's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. And people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Ricky Hatton sounds the alarm about the sport's growing tolerance for aging stars stepping back into the ring. He views the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight as part of a troubling trend, where older legends are allowed to compete in risky matchups. Drawing from his own experience, Hatton compares this to Mike Tyson's late return, suggesting regulators have grown too lenient. He doesn't doubt Manny's skills, but questions whether he should still be fighting at this level.
4 years he's fighting for the WBC welterweight title. That's July the 19th in Vegas, ironically. What did you make of that news when you heard it?
Well, it's boxing today, isn't it? To be honest with you, boxing's, if you can let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson box a Jake Paul, then Manny Pacquiao going back at 46 doesn't look too bad, does it? But Manny is coming back though. Tyson was coming back fighting Jake Paul. Manny's coming back fighting for the world title. But, and I say this with love, how has Manny got his world title shot? He's been retired 6 years. He can't. He's got that on previous successes, hasn't he? To walk straight after being retired so many years ago, straight into a world title fight. How is that allowed possible? What happened? Surely he must have been dropped out of the rankings when he retired. All of a sudden, he decided to make a comeback. They put him straight in at #1 contender. I think only boxing can answer that.
I think did you say 5th, Joe? He's been already placed 5th in the world ranking.
5th in the. How can he be placed back in the top 10?
Comeback fighter.
Yeah, when you've been retired years, and on your previous, he was a hell of a fighter a few years back, but we don't know what he's going to be like today. So you'd like to think he'd have a couple of warm-up fights so we can say, yeah, and then get him in. But boxing these days, I think the money's everything in it.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. When I see him getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit past myself back in the day. I'd had one or two. I wasn't a master of defence like Floyd Mayweather. I'd take 4 to get one in sometimes.
Ben Shalom joins the conversation with serious concern. As a promoter, he understands the massive draw of a Pacquiao headline event, but he also feels a duty to protect fighters. He warns that while Manny's name guarantees buzz, the toll of these comebacks is often overlooked. Shalom highlights cases of ex-champions who suffered long-term damage, physically and mentally, after pushing too far too late.
Thank you to Manny Pacquiao. Unbelievable career that we may never have a career like that again. I want you to take with you, when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, is moments. By taking themselves out of a comfort zone, challenging themselves. And Manny Pacquiao is a dinosaur when it last of a dying breed. We're not going to see too many fighters like this ever again. And Pacquiao is going to be the type of fighter that we tell our kids about. Pacquiao has 20 wins, greater than some of your favorite fighters' best win. Manny Pacquiao has 3 Hall of Fame careers in one, winning legit titles in 8 different weight classes. Pacquiao's legacy will age better and better and better. Times go on and on and on. A fighter like Floyd Mayweather, I think his legacy will diminish a little bit. Salute to Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest of all time.
Ryan Campbell takes a more balanced stance. He admits Manny Pacquiao isn't the same fighter he once was. Age spares no one. But he also believes certain athletes have a way of delivering magical moments, no matter their age. Citing George Foreman's legendary comeback, Campbell reminds fans that boxing has a history of surprises. He doesn't guarantee a win, but he's not counting Manny out either.
Up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion in Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him. But there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around. Yep. People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, Is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah. Greg Hackett keeps it brutally honest, stripping the matchup of any sentimentality. For him, this fight isn't about legacy. It's pure business. He insists that if this were prime Pacquiao, Barrios wouldn't last around. But times have changed. Hackett says Manny is no longer a danger in the ring, just a name that sells. In his view, this bout is more about money than merit.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios' ass. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might fuck around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on some shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You, Stanionis, you, Boobs, you, Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because, again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else. It's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fuck it. I'll fuck with Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for the rest of them straps.
Despite Manny Pacquiao's confident training footage making the rounds, veteran boxing voices remain uneasy. They fear that while his spirit is unshaken, his body may not keep up under true fight pressure. Training clips can be misleading. Facing a young, hungry fighter like Barrios is a different beast. Experts are especially worried about Manny's reflexes, his ability to absorb punches, and whether his stamina